When working with a team of designers, it's important to assign roles to each person and coordinate who makes certain design changes. This is particularly important when working on a large-scale model with many components that have to be managed and modified over time. Collaborating on designs in Fusion 360 works best when one person is assigned the role of the model controller, or in other words, the person who is in charge of updating and reviewing designs within the master assembly, and the other people function as designers who make changes to individual components or subassemblies. In the case of this exercise bike, the person controlling the master model could select a component that needs to be modified, such as this seat post, and then save a copy for one of the designers to work on. Now, I've saved this component, appearing in the data panel for others to work on in this project. For the moment, I'll switch roles and act as if I'm working as one of the designers. With the seat post saved out in its own design, I can begin making modifications to it. I'll open up the design, and in this case, I'll shorten the overall height of the post so it doesn't extend so far down into the bike, as requested by the person in control of the master model. I'll use the press-pull command and shorten it by 50 millimeters. With the modification made, I'll save a new version of the component, name the version Shortened, and click OK. As it's being saved, a status update will appear that reads Creating Version, and the version number updates in the tab at the top once it's created. Now I'll switch back over to the main assembly and reassume the role of the model controller. With the change made to the seat post, I'll make sure to replace the old model with the new one. To do this, I'll remove the old one by right-clicking on it in the browser and selecting Remove. Now, it's removed from the model, and I can insert the new seat post by right-clicking on it in the data panel and selecting Insert into Current Design. In this case, because the new seat post was created from the original, it's automatically placed in the same location, so I can click OK to place it in the model without any joints added. If the newly added component hadn't appeared in the same location, I would need to move it to a particular spot or use joints to relate the components to one another. The new seat post is now included as a distributed design, as it's shown in read-only mode, and its geometry is controlled in a separate design. If the person in charge of the master design requested for the holes on the seat post to be enlarged by 2 millimeters in diameter, the designer in charge of the modifications could open the seat post design, adjust the diameters of the holes, and then save a new version called 10 millimeter holes. Once the new version is saved, which updates in the tab, I can switch back to the main design, which prompts a notification that one component is out of date. In addition, there are multiple icons that appear in the interface indicating that the model is out of date. The top-level assembly has a yellow caution triangle icon, along with the individual component, and another icon appears at the top of the interface. If I expand this drop-down, the option Get All Latest is available, which would pull the latest versions of all of the components in the entire assembly. This is helpful when multiple designers are making changes to multiple components, which can all be updated simultaneously. However, if I just want to update one component at a time, such as the seat post, I can right-click on the component in the browser and select either Get Latest to bring in the latest version or Choose Version to bring in a specific version of the seat post. If I select Choose Version, All versions of that component are listed here and can be inserted into the model. In this case, I'll select the 10mm holes version, which is also the latest version, and click OK. Now, all of the yellow triangular caution icons disappear from the model, indicating that the components are all up to date. From here, the person controlling the master model could assign more components to be modified by other designers and continue to manage which versions are updated in the model.